Hey guys, it's David Feliciano, Superintendent of La Mesa Spring Valley Schools, and this week is Classified Employee Recognition Week. And I cannot think of a time when our classified employees are more deserving of honor and recognition. Um, Through this crisis, you all have been the backbone of our district. Um, you have been such a crucial part of providing for the needs of our community and feeding our children, literally keeping business flowing through the district during this incredibly difficult time. And we're so grateful to you and for your dedication and for your sacrifice. You all are so deserving of recognition, and I just want to thank you for everything that you do. I have something special that I'm excited to share with you, and it's an interview that I did yesterday with John Sulivan. John is the custodian at La Mesa Dale, and John is also part of the CSEA leadership team. And we've known each other for about 4 years. I know John from bargaining with CSEA, and I've got to know him pretty well and know that he's an incredible guy with an incredible story. And it's something that I've wanted to share with you all. And I thought this would be a great way to do it. What's special about John's story is that he has taken who he is and what he's experienced in life, and he's allowed that to inform how he sees himself and what he believes his role is in serving his school and in serving children. And it's really powerful. It really speaks to what it means to be called to work in education and how much higher that calling is from any other place where you might do the same work, but you wouldn't have the opportunity to change the lives of children. And I love how John shares here. So I hope you enjoy this interview. It's about 12 minutes long. I think it's well worth it. It's well worth your time. And again, happy Classified Employee Week. And thank you for all that you guys do. Have a great week and enjoy the interview. Bye. You, John, you and I have known each other for how long? Because we first met through bargaining, right, with CSEA.
Yes,
And how long have you been on the team now?
I've been in the district for 6 years, and I've been on the team now for 4 years.
Okay, so we've known each other for probably right around 4 years, and I know I got to know you through bargaining, and we've both sort of shared our stories. And so I think you have an incredible story to share, not just from not just your own personal experience, but also how it informs how you, what you see your role is at La Mesa Dale, and also at when you were at La Presa, and and you know how you feel about how you can reach kids and make a difference at the school. So can you, if you feel comfortable, would you share a little bit about growing up and kind of what makes you who you are today?
Okay. Um,
Big
so
question.
first of all, I was raised in foster care. I was taken away from my parents at a young age due to uh, various things from drugs and alcohol abuse to child abuse. And I was, every time I went to a foster home, a different foster home, it ended up pulling me to a different school. So I ended up being in a total of 23 different foster homes, and from these homes, they could be satellite homes where you're in that home for a maximum of 2 to 3 months and no longer than that, and then they move you to another home, which could be another satellite home where you're only there for 2 to 3 months until they find you a permanent foster home. So I went through quite a few satellite homes And most of the time, the satellite homes did have me switching schools, like almost multiple times in a year. Sometimes I would go to 2 to 3 schools in a year, to where I got to the point where I got tired of trying to make friends, because every time I made a friend, I was moving to another school. It got it got rough for me, just because for me, since I was bouncing around to multiple homes, I didn't really have the attention at home from anybody, because most of the homes you would go to, there were multiple kids there, so it wasn't like I was having any one-on-one attention. So when I would go to school, to me, the negative attention was some sort of attention, like I was having somebody focus on me. So that's kind of like that was my outlet. Like if I was in trouble and they sent me to the principal's office, it was just me and the principal, would pretty much sit there and talk to me, and it was just us. So I was having some sort of one-on-one interaction with somebody, and this went on until I was about 15 years old, and at that point, I had I was going to high school, and I was struggling a little bit with is just trying to find my identity, and like what I was supposed to do with my life and everything. And I remember I was struggling in math, and my math teacher had reached out to me and was tutoring me a little bit. I was thinking about it, without even realizing that math teacher kind of became like a father figure for me,
Hmm.
like at the time. And I had questioned him one day in class, like why did he um, kind of like point me out of anybody, as far as, like, there were other kids struggling in the class. There were and he told me that I reminded him of himself when he was younger, that he knew that there was something else. He knew that uh, I had a good heart and I had passion. And he said that he just didn't want me to go down the same path that all my friends were going down, or that he didn't want me to blame my past of growing up on what I can do with my future. So I graduated on time with my class, and the whole time I was thinking about what that math teacher said about, you know not using my past against me, and not blaming my past on um, on what I can do with my future. So I graduated high school, and I took about a close to a year just working at a furniture store, still thinking about what I wanted to do with my life. And I told my boss that I was going to go down and sign up for the Navy Reserves, and that I would still keep my job, but I would be back I would only be gone 1 week in a month, and that I would just, I would do that. He said, "Yeah, that's fine." And this was on a Friday, and then on Monday I came back in and told him, "Well, I'm going to boot camp tomorrow, and I'm not going to be able to give you a 2 weeks notice, but I signed up for active duty because it seems more exciting than the reserves." And I ended up, I told everybody when I signed up that I was only going to do 4 years, and I ended up spending 15 years in the Navy, and did 8 deployments while I was in the Navy. Well, I applied for the school district, and it was a custodial position. And I remember I was like, I wanted to be a teacher. I don't want to be a custodian. And I was kind of embarrassed at first, like, to tell my military buddies that I'm a custodian now, because in the eyes of the outside that don't understand what we truly do, they think custodians are just janitors, or all we do is clean toilets, or all we do is pick up trash or whatnot. I ended up applying for a day position and went over to La Presa Elementary. And when I got there, it was like my eyes were opened up a lot, because um, the home life of these kids, when I got to just hear their stories and talk to them, you started realizing like they're they're living the same life that I lived when I was a kid. After a while, I started realizing that that's the that was the purpose that I was put in a custodial position. Like, it wasn't that I dreamed about being a custodian my whole life. It's that I wasn't uh, dwelling off of my childhood, of how I was raised. I was using my childhood to help the kids that are going through the same things that I went through when I was a kid. I think that just how I was raised helps me see past the surface with a lot of what's going on with the students here at the school. To where even here now at La Mesa Dale, um, like I know that there are kids that can be a little tougher to deal with from some staff members' point of view, but I feel that I reach out to them, and they actually I'm trying to think of the word, they they respect. I can tell that they respect me here, because they know that I'm coming through them to them from a sincere place. Like, I know that they're not bad kids. I know that they're not doing this because they want us to be upset at them. They're not doing this because they want to hurt us. They're doing a lot of the stuff that they do because they're hurting inside themselves, and it's our job to uh, let them know that we care, instead of letting them know that we're upset at them. And I feel that that's what my math teacher was talking about using what I've been through for something better than something negative.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I love, you know, that you. I just love that you see yourself as being called to the role that you're in right now, and that it's so much more than just a job. And I really believe that. I think for all of us, especially those that are on a campus where we have interaction with kids, and like we just we have it's just an incredible thing, that opportunity that we have, to reach kids and make a difference in their lives. And all of us have that opportunity. We're all educators in that sense, and we're a part of we're a part of these schools that are really just, I know they're workplaces, but they're workplaces that is composed of a community of adults that are all together under the same mission to transform the lives of kids. And
Exactly.
it's really, an incredible thing. And I'm grateful to you, John, that you've really tapped into um, what it is about you that can make a difference in the lives of the kids that you see every day. Because I think all of us that are in schools, like we need to have that mindset. We need to realize we're here for a reason, and that's the most important work we could be doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.